I want to welcome everyone here. And this is The Gathering. I want to thank everyone for being here. And I'm really honored that you wanted to participate in this. So, firstly, I want to give thanks to Lynn. She's going to be posting information on the sidebar if you're interested. And let me see here. Is there anything else I want to say? We do have a workshop. Lynn, if you can announce, please, if you don't mind, please announce the things coming up in November. Every Wednesday we have this gathering, so I hope you all participate in it. Yeah, thanks, Lynn. The appointments, and if anyone is interested uh, in doing not a donation, but it's a supporting or gifting, please go to the website. It's not mandatory by any means. Please do that. It helps other people with appointments and other needs. And it also helps to support us to keep going. So please, thank you, Lynn. I appreciate that. And if anyone's interested in appointments, please do, let me know. You can email me or you can call me, and the numbers are on the website and also on the Facebook page. So, and I do appointments only with Zoom and FaceTime and telephone call. And people tell me and I know also that they're most effective. No different really than working with a person in person. So please do take that. Starting the online healing circle is going to be the 20th, as Lynn mentioned, of October. And please do take advantage of that. The healing circle is awesome. And there's times that I may see things and understand things, and I'll just express it to you if it's applicable. So keep that in mind. What I usually see are causal things pertaining to the body or whatever. That's right. The Unleashing Your Fearless Imagination is on the 4th. So please do, sign up for that. It's a workshop. It's 4 days. It's an hour and a half a day. If you can't attend it, then you'll be able to see the replay of it. And it's on a private YouTube channel for anyone who signs up for that. And it is a paid course. And then there's the next. Oh, excuse me. That is Useful Healing Technique is the mini. That's right. The mini is the useful healing techniques, and that's going to be on the 10th of November, and followed by another healing circle. Hey, Parachi, good to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And we're getting a bunch of people in here. This is great. Love it, love it, love it. And there'll be a bunch of others that will be coming on in as well. So do take advantage of all these things. The 4-day workshop, Unleashing Your Fearless Imagination, is going to be awesome. And I think all the workshops are awesome. And it'll be a full workshop. So please take advantage of that. And if you can't, then you'll be able to see it on the replay if you signed up for it and paid for it. All right. Moving right along here. Let me see here if there's anything that I have to mention. Let me see here. And if there's any questions for tonight, write them on the sidebar, and I'll do my darndest to answer them. We have several questions now, and also I'll be doing a few healings with people if you're interested. Just doing one thing, one physical thing. I won't delve into the emotional stuff. I leave that for private appointments as well as the physical things. But for this and anything publicly, I won't do anything emotionally. And yeah, thanks, Patty. And thanks for the review of the last one. I really appreciate that. That was awesome. And Lynn will be applying those to the website and stuff. And so thanks again, Patty, for the review of that. Let me see here. Well, first, what I'd like to do, if you don't mind, is there's someone that would like me to work with one thing in their body. Please, just anything, let me know. Please let me know. And write it out, and I'll be able to see it. And there is a delay on this, and I know that, and it's several seconds. So please, if there's anyone who'd like me to work with one thing right now, and then we'll get to something else, right after that or before that, if no one has anything. So thirsty here. It's so dry here. It was in the single digits with humidity. So, all right. And if there's any questions, please feel free to ask them. If I can get to them, I will. My friend Diana, she wrote, let me see here first. All right, Diana wrote, "Hi, Mark. I am wondering if you believe in, hey, Marianne, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'm really appreciative. Right hip and leg. Okay. That's two things, but, and please write out what's wrong with your leg. Is it the knee, or what are you experiencing, if you don't mind telling me? And I'll gladly, take it from there. Please write out what you're experiencing with your leg. Is it the knee or the whole leg itself, or is it nerve damage, or is it sciatica? And hey, Sue, good to see you. You rock too, my dear friend. You rock too. So let me know, Marianne. I appreciate that. And in the meantime, until I get an answer, there it is, sciatica. Okay, that's what I thought. All righty. So what I'm going to do, please, the only thing I request is that you do it my way. And don't add anything to it. Don't contribute to it. Don't, do anything in opposition or whatever. Just close your eyes for a second. And what I'd like to do is, you tell me if you experience something happening with your sciatica, and if it's you notice any changes. And keep in mind sometimes too that with the changes, they can be incremental in a person, and so it doesn't have to be right away. And I don't get bent out of shape with it, if you don't feel something immediately. So I'm not worried about that, because I know maybe 25% of the people will experience something incrementally later. And most people tell me that something happens immediately. I'm going to imagine myself, and I'll give you a little explanation too. I'm going to imagine, which means to image in action, my hand on your lower back. You tell me if you sense something happening. Please be candid with me too. All right. And and I always experience something when this happens. So I'm curious if you felt something real subtle or dramatic happening in your lower back area. All right, that tingling is the life force moving through, and it's not the normal tingling that you. Hey, Christina, good to see you here. Thanks. It's not the normal tingling you would feel with sciatica. So, all right. And please, as we go on tonight, for the next many minutes, tell me if you notice any difference in there as far as how it feels. Please be candid with me, whether you notice a difference, it's the same, it's worse, or whatever. And please let me know. Any case, Diana asked me a question here. She says, "Hi, Mark. I'm wondering if you believe in animal spiritual signs." She said, "I do." I had this beautiful hawk land right on my balcony when I was talking to my mom on the phone about my new decision to move in with a roommate. It's new territory and a bit scary and exciting and great financial opportunity for me. Awesome. I'm wondering what your perspective is. And I totally believe these things are at times there for us in what people refer to as signs, and they're there, and the signs are there to remind us. But the signs are really guidances and directions from other sources that want to reinforce our decisions or to not to overpower us by any means, but to help us to make a decision and knowing that things are correct in what we're doing or we're off base. And so something as beautiful as that, I say it was off base. And they're also there at times to help us to remember that we might be wavering in something, in thought or our activities. So I think that's fantastic, though. And yes, I do trust those things. Though my answer to this was I only believe in God. I don't believe in science, and I don't believe in animals. I know they're true. All things are possible in God's world, and I love that. And the first thing that came to me is just be strong and to follow your self-guidances in your knowing, in utmost confidence and knowing. So I truly believe it's what people call science. And so my friend Marianne, can you tell me if you notice any difference in your body? If you feel anything, if you got up and moved around a little bit, is the same or worse or better? Please do let me know if you notice any changes in that, or if you in a little while feel it kind of like a joint popping. And so let me know on that, please. Please let me know. I appreciate that. Give my love to Steve, Christina, and your daughter, please. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sue, my friend, dear friend Sue Kepps, she wrote a question, and I love the questions. So good. I'm happy it's better, but it's not the end of the story. Remember that, Marianne. It's not the end of the story. Please do keep that in mind. And you may feel at times a little debilitated from it, but it won't be as great as it was. But don't keep that in your thought that nothing happened, because you'll see that it leads into something even greater. So please do keep that in mind. All right, Sue wrote, spiritual sight is not with the eyes, right? It is self-analyzed or actualized. Please define again. Oh boy, good question. We see with our two physical eyes, and we get to see the creation outside of ourselves with them, with the physical eyes. And Steve is here and said hi. Big hug. Thanks, a big hi. Yay. Big Mark. So again, we get to see with the two physical eyes, we get to see the creation outside of ourselves, and with the eye to see and experience and knowing within, we with what I refer to as the mind of God, the sight of God, we get to see within ourselves, and these are through the eyes of God, the Creator, the Source, Yahweh, the Nameless One, whatever you want to call it. And we get to see the truth with the spiritual sight. But I think we become self-actualized with the experience of life on this earth, and with the blending of both worlds. We're here for a reason. And we get to see the truth of things. So our place is to blend the physical and the spiritual and to witness its creation. And we have to do that with a clear mind. There's no other way. If our mind is not clear, it's going to be cluttered and it's going to be in conflict. And as we take the conflict and the clutter out and the resistance out, then we get to see clear and the truth more from within ourselves. As far as the truth goes, we all have our own truth. It's not just one solid truth. Otherwise, we're putting God in a box, and that's the way it is. And it's not like that. I remember, and some of y'all have heard the story before, but the very, very first time I ever meditated, I was called up to a chapel by my teacher, and there were 20 of us in the chapel. And he says, okay, and this is only my third month in my order. And he said, and I had never experienced meditation before. And he said, all right, I'm going to ask a question. Hey, Mariko in Japan, how are you, my dear? Good to see you. Good to see you. And so here we are up in the chapel, and he says, I'm going to ask a question, and I want everyone in the next 45 minutes or however long it was in their meditation to come up with an answer, and they all better be the same. And so I figured, what is this guy talking about? So he asked this question, and the room is dark, and everyone had pen and pencil. Pen and paper. And he says, write down your answers as you get them. And I said, okay. So the lights went out, and the room is dark, and there was nothing but candles in there. And he's up in the sanctuary area, and he's every 5 minutes he's repeating the question to remind us to go back to the question if our minds wandered. So here we are, and I'm sitting there, and David, Brother David, was next to me, and he was just snoring away. And I figured, okay, this is great. And so I can close my eyes and I can take a nap too, and or doze or something. I might be tired, I felt. And so I closed my eyes, and other people were breathing heavy around me and or in their meditative states or whatever that was. And I didn't have any idea what meditation was. I had heard about it, but I had never been able to do it. So here I am, sitting back with my arms like this and my feet crossed on the ground. And the teacher repeated the question again. And all of a sudden I found myself I thought it was a dream, in this big top tent. And no one had any idea what the answer to that question was unless they were able to meditate on it, and then an answer would come to them. So here I am in my dream, half awake and half asleep, I thought. I pictured myself in this huge big top tent, and big round tent, and all the way in the back was this flap, and in comes walking Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, and Dumbo. And I just burst out laughing out loud. And my teacher stood up, and I put my head down like this, and I didn't want him to think that I was playing or anything else. And I just saw Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Pluto, and Dumbo walk through that flap of the tent. And so I closed my eyes again after he sat down again, and he thought someone was dying or choking or something. And so here I'm sitting there like this again, going back into my half in and half out state. And I saw them again, and they were walking towards the center of the tent. No one else was in there, and I was sitting on the bleachers, about the second or third row up on the bleachers, and the only one in the whole tent besides them. And I'm facing them, and they split up in twos, and they started going up this ladder, to this ladder and to this ladder, and they climbed all the way to the top, and they start doing acrobatics. And I'm just inside myself, I'm laughing that I'm seeing this, and I realized I'm also aware of everything that's happening in the room where I was, in the little chapel area that I was. So they're doing these acrobatics, and then I realized that they were telling me a story in their movements, in their jumping around and doing things. and playing with each other. And I kept watching. I wonder what the story is. I wonder what it is. And I kept wondering deeper and deeper, what are they trying to tell me? Then I started, I half opened my eyes, wrote down on my paper as I'm watching this inside of myself. And then it all ended, and the lights went on, and the teacher said, okay, there were 5 people in front of me, and 2 of the, or 3 of the 5 people that were in front of me, or I was the 5th, I don't remember, 2 of those, I think, had the same answer that I had, but expressed differently. And that blew my mind away. And for the other 15 people, maybe 7 of them had the same darn answer, and I couldn't believe it. And I started thinking, oh my God, what a tool this is. So ever since then, I've been, in times of need, or just purposefully, or I wonder about something that I don't know about, I'll ask a question. So, but my point is that we're all going to perceive differently, but it'll be about the same result, and we'll always get a truth from it. And so with the sight, we get to see our truth, and that's what we're here to do. It's it's what we can identify with in life, in our lives, and that's just the way it is. But it's all of the same truth, and we're all going to identify differently. Our place is to blend into the physical and the spiritual and witness its creation. And that's what we're doing in our evolution. We're learning how to do that. So let me see if there's any other things here. I don't know how long the current situation will last, Rico. I've never even asked. I've never cared, because I know it's change, and that's all that matters to me. And I'm indifferent to it all, really. I know that the virus is real, and if I challenge God in some way, saying, "Oh, I'm better than this," or "It's not going to affect me," I know I'm setting myself up for it. And so I just keep clear in my head, and I regard everything that they're suggesting, to be true, and I honor it. So I know it affects people. I've known it's affected great spiritual teachers and other spiritual beings here. I know it's affected them. So I just, I don't challenge God by saying, inside myself, I know otherwise. I don't. With that. So I just honor it all. And however long it lasts, it's going to be a while, I know. But that's all I know. And so, and let's see. Other than that, my friend Lindsay. Question, Mary Ann, please, once again, can you tell me if you notice any difference in there, please? And please let me know. How your spine, between your spine and your hip, how it feels now, if you can tell a difference in there. Please do share with me. It helps me to understand as well. And I'm glad that Steve is doing well there, Christina. Say hi to the big M. I'm shorter than Steve, I think. And let's see, who else is here? This is from my friend Lindsay. She says, when I intend healing for others, is it actually effective? When I intend healing for others, is it actually effective, or is it pointless and just up to them? Let me see if there was any response here. No. All right. Well, I believe with all my heart that when we have intent for healing with others, it's definitely true. We have these emanations that come from us. They come forth from us. It's the life. It's the life force. I call it the dance of God, the dance of life. it comes forth from us and it carries information. And it's just like the analogy of, I don't remember his name, Dr. Pete something or another. He wrote about the butterfly, how it gnaws its way out of the cocoon with heat and hydraulics and friction and just all kinds of dynamics that are happening. And it's eating its way out, and then it starts stretching its wings. And as it does, the butterfly then, after a while, as it learns to adapt within those few minutes' time or several minutes, it takes flight. But what happens in its immediate environment is that the currents, the air currents that it's going through as it's flying, they alter. And it's the same thing with us. And that, but with us, we have what we refer to as free will, and there's creativity in that. We have the ability to recreate in its image. So there's power, there's force, there's energy that's coming forth from us. And so the neat thing about us is that in our consciousness, we have the ability to affect our immediate environment, and even further than that. I remember we can even affect people from all over the world. And I remember that when I was at Motorola before I became public, which was the first time that I ever became public, really. It was about 25 years ago, approximately, give or take. I was working at Motorola, and there was someone that had, there was this woman who put their hand in the wrong place in a automatic insertion machine, these huge machines, and she got her hand cut. And everyone in the factory there was, in shock what had happened with her hand. It was just bubbled up. And my first instinct was to go up to her and and I also went up to her. I was curious what had happened. I wasn't sure. I didn't know. So and all these people are around, but I didn't notice them. It was just, my focus was on her and her discomfort and and her crying, what had happened. And the boss wanted to get her coat. It was wintertime in Chicago. Boss wanted to get her coat, and he was going to take her to ER and some hospital. And so I said, "Give me your hand." And she looked at me, and it was real silent all around, and I didn't hear anyone talking or anything. I was just so focused. And so she looked at me and she gave me her hand, and I sandwiched it in between mine, and I prayed my tail off. And so then as my hands were around her, I just prayed and prayed and prayed within myself. And then after about maybe 30 seconds or less or more, I took my hands away, and she looked at me, and I was looking at her, and she looked at other people around still holding out her hand. And the supervisor came up with her coat, says, "Hurry up, I'm going to take you." And he looked at her hand, and he didn't understand, because there was nothing but a real subtle red mark across her palm where this big bubble had been from injury. And so I realized that there were all these people around me, and I was just not even cognizant of them before that, because I was so focused on her. So I saw what had happened, and I just kind of squirmed away. I didn't want to be noticed. I didn't want to be acknowledged in that or anything. And I had never done anything like that publicly before. Everything was always through not being known, because that was the way I was taught. And so, not to be known. And so I went back to my repair station where I worked, and in the factory there. And then later, someone came up to me and said, my grandfather in India, he was just diagnosed with cancer. Can you please pray for him? And I immediately said, I guess, yeah, sure. And so I did that night, and I prayed for him. And 2 days later, he came to me and he said, "I just talked with my grandfather, or my aunt, who was taking care of my grandfather in India, and She said he went to ER because he said he felt better or he felt different, and they did X-rays, and the X-rays were so distorted from there was like a light, there was a leak in the X-ray machines. They were just so light, and so we went back the following day, and they said they couldn't find the cancer. They don't understand. So that was the first time I had ever publicly worked or even knowingly worked with long distance. So yes, we can do that, and we can get effect. And our every word, our every thought, every action is our living prayer, and I believe that. So we have the ability to do that, and it's going to take effect. And I've done thousands of people, either in front of me or on the other side of the world, just thousands and thousands. So I know that it's true, and that these people do experience things. So healing is real, and we have the ability, as we trust it, as we go to that divinity within and say, okay, boss, you take over, because I know that I'm not doing anything, because I can't put myself on the other side of the world, so you're going to have to do it for me. And it does, whether it be a he or she, whatever you call it, it doesn't care. And so, you know, as far as the pointless part of us doing anything, many a time there are people that, you know, they've had to participate in the healing if you don't see anything or you don't know of anything. And it takes their participation in the healing as well sometimes. That's what I find. If it's not immediate, maybe it takes their participation of doing exercise, or now they can go to a doctor, find out the reason or the cause or something like that. So healing is real, but they have to do their part for it to be complete. Not everyone is instantaneous for whatever reasons. I don't know. Marianne wrote, feeling much better. Usually have more pain in the mornings. Okay, please. Anxious to feel the continual healing as the day progresses. Yes, please. Please. And let me know. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll keep you posted. Thanks so much. My honor. My pleasure, Marianne. And so, is there anyone else here that has one thing they would like me to work with as we're moving along here? Please write it down. One thing in the body, nothing emotional. I won't, and I don't want to be a prophet or psychic or anything like that. You know, if something comes out, I'll express it, but I don't purposely do stuff like that. It's not my forte. I work with the healing. If there's one thing in your body, please let me know, and I'd love to be able to work with you. Let me see here. Who wrote something else here? Sue, another Sue, G. I've heard that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. What is your understanding? Well, spiritual and spirituality is always first in the mind of the Creator, my perception. And, you know, we're formed in its image, and it has a perfection. And, you know, according to our environment and our geographical location and our soul's evolution of what the soul dictates as far as what we're coming into, nothing that we sign a contract for, believe me. And then the body is formed around that and what we're here to learn and to experience. And, oh my God, Aggie's here. Hi. I'll work with you in a minute. And so the body is always, you know, responding to our immediate environment and everything else with the geographic location and the family we're born into and our experiences that are developed from those things, the things that our soul needs to experience. But we're created in its image, and in some sense, we're perfect. And so, and it's us learning to adapt to that. To our environment, regardless of our experimentations in life and our endeavors and our pitfalls, we're still perfect in its image. And our place is to find that within ourselves through even our avoidances and recognizing who we really are. That's our place. And but then again, this is still evolution, and to eventually get to know ourselves and find that living perfection that we are. Even what I was talking about, everyone lives and dwells within that mind of the divinity, that godliness within, and how we can get a answer, like I was first mentioning in my story about meditation, or a little bit earlier. And so we all have it within us, and it's waiting to be discovered. How we are a part of that, and it's a part of us in our life. The spirituality is perfect, and we were born around that in its form. And so, and this is still evolution, and the purpose of it is to get to know ourselves. This is the only rhyme and or reason for the so-called evolution, and through so-called reincarnation. The only purpose is to get to know ourselves. There's no other rhyme and reason for it. So, all right, Aggie, and I hope that makes sense to people. And please do go over again the replay of this as soon as it's put up on Facebook. And Lynn will be putting it up on YouTube and on the website, probably today or tomorrow. But regardless, Aggie, you have a broken pinky finger. Oh, you poor baby, you. I'm so sorry. All right. Let's work with your broken pinky finger. Which hand is it? Can you tell me right or left? And I won't play psychic on this one. And lower back for Patty, too. Please, that'll be next, Patty. Let me know, Aggie, is it the right or left hand, pinky finger? You poor baby. Let me know. And I'll start off with a blessing until you type the answer right or left. All right. And now I want to work with your right. Do you have one of those blue splints? Blue and aluminum? So, all right, I'm going to work with your right pinky finger. And you may sense something happening. Not talking into it or make you think something, but you may sense something real subtle or dramatic. My experience is, and it may be totally different in your experience, but no white plastic. This is a new way. Oh my God. Well, I like the old metal ones, but with the blue foam in it. Those are great. But in any case, my experience was that there was a pressure buildup and then there was a release. And can you tell me if you notice a difference, if you're able to, inside the white plastic one, that you're able to jiggle it a little bit, and if there's any less discomfort in there, please let me know. And you'll notice also that it's almost like for the healing, there's a quickening that happens. I've seen this many, many a time, as you know. As always, I am heating up. Great. All right, that's the when we experience the heating up in our bodies, it's the divinity's life force, the energies hitting the resistance, and the body will heat. Sometimes for some people, other people will feel electricity going through them or a flow of water. It all varies. Some people experience an emotional catharsis as needed. Other people will experience the electricities or vibrations or cold or heat or something. And some people feel nothing, but that's fine too. It doesn't mean that they need to. That's all. And everyone is correct in what happens with them. Everyone is so unique. So hopefully your body is starting to cool off now, Maggie or Aggie. Let me do one more thing here as well. Yes, when you give or receive, yes. There. It's almost like resistance is broken in the body. The tissue could be resistance, the muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, whatever. They could be resistance, the injuries. But the injuries, we can actually watch inside of us. We can watch the bone meld and knead together, knit together. And we can do these things, and we see that to varying degrees that actually happens. And it quickens the healing within us. I've seen this with all kinds of things, injuries and chronic situations or whatever. That's awesome, Aggie. So great to see you here. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And you should know Patty. Patty's from Chicago too. And so, or Patty should know you or one of the other, the old group from many, many years ago, 25 years ago, 20 years ago. So, all right. Are there any questions or comments or things that people want to know about something that I can try to answer? I'd love to be able to. It's almost time. We only got less than 15 minutes left. Please, any questions? Oh, my pleasure, Aggie. God bless you. And I pray all is well with you. And let's. Oh, Patty. Patty. Let's see. Where's Patty's thing here? Lower back. Oh, you poor baby. All right, let's work with Patty and the lower back. First thing I'm going to ask a blessing on you too. All right, Patty. Please do keep me updated now if you can, please, on how you feel if you notice a change or a difference in that. And some people, what happens is there'll be, or a lot of people, there'll be the most immediate healing that happens with them, and they'll know, and they can immediately tell. Other people, what happens quite often is, say, maybe about 25% or even a little bit more, if it can be quantified like that. They'll experience it exponentially as the day goes on, or they'll wake up from it, or say when people come to see me, sometimes they'll be walking out the door, and then all of a sudden the healing will happen within them by that divinity within that's acknowledging it. They'll be healed when they walk out the door or walking down the street 2 months or 2 weeks later. All of a sudden they'll say, oh my God, when did this leave me? So I never know what's going to happen or how, because I'm trusting that divinity within. And that's what I really prefer to do in my life. If I should do it consciously, like, oh, I'm the healer, then it won't last, or it won't be real if it should happen. And most likely it won't be a healing at all. It'll be talking someone into something, and I don't want to go there. So I pretty much leave it to the old man or old woman upstairs, which I refer to as that godliness within, and I really prefer it. So, Patty, please, can you tell me if you notice any difference in your hip area? And also, Prachi, is there anything I can possibly help you with, or as far as one thing? It's good to see you here, Prachi, as always. And I pray that all is going well. My jaw is more relaxed and my back is very warm. Good, good. Enjoy it, Patty. Patty, you rock, my dear. Wonderful friend all these years. And you and Aggie, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. And let me see here, Christina. Anything in particular, my dear? Anything in particular? Please. Please let me know, Christina. Or with your daughter, or Steve, or Steve's always perfect. Prachi, I'm good, Mark. Thank you. Oh, blessings to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, you rock. And Google loves the Google Analytics. They love the hashtag. So if you can put hashtag you rock or something like that, I'd appreciate it. And even if you see the replay on this, if you can put hashtag replay, that would be wonderful. All right. Lynn, anything in particular you would like me to work with, or would you like me to ask a blessing? And also, Lynn, I would, thanks. Yeah, it was a great story of meditation. I always like this to bring that up, is the way that I learned. A little more to the story I gave you, the shortened one. But Lynn, if there's if you would like to text later, or anytime really, or tomorrow, and if you want to share with me what you had texted me with me about, that'd be great. I'd love to, and I intended to ask you, but something happened. So, any questions about anything before we boogie here? It's almost time to go. My mother-in-law's knee. Donna is her name. Okay, yes, yes, yes. And you don't even have to tell me the knee, which knee it is. All right, I'm most curious, and please, share with me if you find anything out about your mother-in-law's knee, please. All right, everyone. Real quickly, if you don't mind, I'd like to do the quickest meditation you ever done in your life, and it'll just be for a minute. And what I'd like you to do is to, if you want to participate in this, great. If not, that's fine. Um, uh, is to picture within yourselves uh, going to like an empty place and not having any thoughts in your mind. Just go to an empty place, not knowing what to think. And then uh, ask that emptiness, asking the emptiness to share something with you that you don't know. It's way in the background. And you'll experience it through hearing or seeing, wondering what it is. And if you were disturbed in not being able to get into that, try it tonight when you're going to bed or when you're in a real quiet place. Try it as often as you would like, and you'll see that something subtle is there all the way in the background or very dominant, and it will share something with you. All right. Yeah, Lynn, please let me know. I'd be honored to. All right. Thank you, everyone here. I really do, with all my heart. And blessings to you. If there's anything, let me know. Make an appointment with me, or catch the free classes or workshops that are online. We have a great workshop coming up, and everything's either mentioned on Facebook or in the newsletter on the website. Lynn's done a hell of a job for that. Please check out the website. And blessings to everyone here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm totally honored. Bye-bye. You rock.